It's got to go. It's got to move on. It has to be that if we don't accept the re-education by the mainstream media, by the government, by the pulpit parasites, and the list goes on and on, if you and I do not accept that, then we are dissidents. We are no good for society. And therefore, a couple of things are going to happen in the not-so-distant future. You're either going to accept the re-education, or you're going to be taken to a place that you cannot cause and create dissent. And you'll work at a labor camp. Or they'll drum up something on you and say that you resisted arrest and trumped up and put drugs on your property, and they'll kill you. You see, what we must understand is that most of the colleges have already won the re-education process because they keep them drunk, they keep them on binge parties and everything else, and they're passing out condoms and everything, and they're having them drunk and having orgies rather than being sober and being able to realize and think on their own of what's going on. All they're thinking about is who they can hook up with next at the colleges, or all they're thinking about is how many people can I get to a sorority party and get them drunk and screw them to death. I mean, that's all they're thinking about. And then at the same time, you got these puppet masters like Obama that are put in there and that are saying, you know what, you guys are paying too much for college. You gals are paying too much. Let me back in, although they put him in. You know good and well your vote don't count. But he tells them, let me back in, and guess what? We're going to make everything okay these next 4 years because tuition's not going to cost you anything. Do you remember when they put Obama in, the powers that be put him in, and you remember that lady that come out and said, oh, praise God, I ain't got to worry about my rent payment anymore. I ain't got to worry about my mortgage. I ain't got to worry about gas in my vehicle. Well, I wish to the creator of the universe that I could get a hold of her and interview her today and see if Obama wrote a check or the government wrote her a check for all her mortgage. See, it is nothing but a bunch of lies that people are being fed. And I don't want to disappoint you or upset you or dishearten you, but the thing of it is this: there's only a remnant of people that are awake. There is only a few that realize and know and understand that this re-education process is nothing more than psychological warfare. Psychological warfare. And, you're a malcontent, you're a useless eater, you're sucking up and breathing up the air that these re-educated people can breathe, and pretty soon, you're going to have pardon the expression, but you're going to have a bullseye on your back. That's what it's coming to. It's fastly approaching the day that you can no longer breathe the air because you do not go along with the program, because you stick out like a sore thumb, because you are that needle in a haystack that might prick them in the butt if they jump in that pile of hay. No one understands that the things we're doing here today pretty soon is going to be outlawed. The things that I'm saying here today probably already is outlawed, but I don't give a rat's rear end. Because the thing about it is, I didn't get my tongue, I didn't get my voice language, and I didn't get my freedom from them. I got it from the Creator. And as I've said before, and I'll say it again, listen to me real clear. They are the ones that wanted separation of church and state. And now they got it. Now they've got it. Okay? With me, that is. You must understand that we are the ones that are totally opposite and in opposition to the very generation I just spoke to you about a while ago. That they've been waiting on. They've been waiting on this generation to re-educate them, and we are in total opposition to these people. See, know them that are among you and labor with you. You see, I told this earlier to a good friend of mine. with the way this blog talk is headed and the way the endtimewatchman.com is headed, I'm probably going to wind up with very few friends. And the simple reason is because I'm going to tell the truth. And I'm going to hit it hard when I tell it. Now, it doesn't matter to me how popular I am. What matters to me is if one person gets the truth and we work together to stand against the re-education that is here today and coming tomorrow. You see, the thing of it is this. We cannot stop the masses from accepting it, but I'll tell you what we can do. If we can wake up one or two down the road and we can keep ourselves from being deceived here and there along the way, then we do have a victory. Because we have not bowed to it, we have not given up on the freedoms that were placed inside of us when the sperm and the egg came together. We've not given up on the freedoms that when we came out of the womb of our mother that we knew we wanted. We had to, see, these birth pains are taking place right now. These birth pains are taking place right now, and we are in the canal, the birthing canal, and it's a rough, tough time. And we're going to come out of that birth canal. And we're going to be gasping at times for air. But once we get our breath again, we're going to be able to move forward. We're going to be able to expose these people for who they are. Like I said, we're not going to change the course in the events of the history in the future that's coming. But we ourselves have the opportunity not to be involved and complacent and bow to it. We ourselves have the opportunity as free individuals that we choose not to take part in their destruction so that we do not receive of their eternal damnation and plagues, so that we can hear the very words that my desire of my heart wants to hear. We can hear in that day, "Well done, thy good and faithful servant." And I'm not talking about a servant of the government. I'm not talking about a servant of a denominational church. I'm not talking about a servant of a patriot group. I'm not talking about a servant of a motorcycle gang. I'm talking about a servant of the Creator that gave you the very things that you hold dear. See, He gave it to everybody. But how many out of the 300 and something million people in this United States of America have thrown it away? How many of them have traded that liberty and that life and that pursuit of happiness for security? Because they're lazy and they're weak. And they'd rather watch a basketball game and somebody shoot the hoop and make $40 million just because he can take a round ball and throw it through a net. Or somebody can wear tights and run up and down a 100-yard field that's got some chalk on it and throw an oblong ball that makes $30-40 million. How about the perverted anchors on the television shows that go ahead and say that, you know, I get a tingle up my leg every time I hear Obama speak that make $30-40 million? No. The fact of the business is this. The fact of the business is this. That our minds are a terrible thing to waste. The fact of the business is this. I know that you listening to me today are not wasting your mind. I know that you're not corrupting your mind. I know that you're not just accepting any and everything that's said. Exercise your brains and your minds, and I'll guarantee you there'll be one behind you saying, yeah, this was truth or this was a lie. There'll be one behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it, and it won't be a government official. It won't be some jackbooted thug with an M4. And it won't be some pulpit parasite, but it will be the Creator that made you, and you will hear His voice, and He will help you, and He will protect you. Now, some of us are going to die for what we believe in. Of course we are. Some of us are going to be thrown in prison for what we believe in. Some of us are going to be beaten and tortured. But the fact of the business is, no matter what takes place, I beg you, as your friend and your true neighbor, do not give in to whatever they do to you. I beg you to hang on till you draw your last breath. I beg you to stand strong and stand firm, no matter the cost. Because that, my friend, ladies and gentlemen, is the true, I say it again, the true way to obtain riches and wealth. And I'm not talking about gold and silver. I'm not talking about worthless Federal Reserve notes. You want to be rich? Stand firm. You'll have treasure that nobody can steal from you. They can't take that from you. Now, they've made themselves out to be their own God. That's okay. Let them be. Let them be. But when they get on their deathbed, no matter how many drugs they have to prolong their life, when they get on their deathbed and they suck their last breath of air, there's a meeting that takes place. There's a meeting that takes place. And that meeting that they're going to go to, some of them quicker than others, they're going to have to stand there. By the way, they don't sit down, they don't relax, they don't smoke a cigar, they don't drink their champagne, they don't call their buddies, and they don't get on their yacht and fly away in their planes. But in that day, they're going to stand there with their mouths shut. And the one that loaned them the period of time on this earth is going to deal with them. And when he stamps it, and they're guilty, they're going to beg, they're going to cry, they're going to scream, they're going to wail, and they're going to lament forever and a day. While you and I, that stand fast, that do not give up, we shall be around a big supper table. And we shall be reclining and sitting back. And we shall not have any sorrow, nor have any pain. We shall not have any sickness or sore throat like I'm dealing with. You shall not have to worry about paying your rent or your mortgage. Oh, yeah, she thought that she didn't have to pay her rent or mortgage because of a Kenyan tent maker? Obama? No, you and I are the ones that won't have to worry about that. In that day, when it all wraps up. Day, when it all wraps up. And let me tell you something. Each and every one of us have an individual royal phone line. And I'm asking you to pick that royal phone up and ask the Creator exactly where your position is and what you have to do in the future, and He will tell you. Some of us already know. I'm one of them that knows a lot of what I got to do when it comes down. I'm out of time. I cannot believe this. 30 minutes has flew by. Just brace yourself, because it's coming. It's coming. And it's going to be a rough ride. This is Endtime Watchman News Network. Have a great day. And I'll see y'all later. I'm out of time. Have a great day. See y'all.